Hello friends, welcome to EduFun channel. Today we will be having fun in the topic of geography by exploring various aspects of maps. Friends, today we are going to discuss about maps. Maps are one of the most fascinating subjects in geography. Let's try and see. Before going to that, we'll have to know what are maps. Maps are nothing but representation of area on a surface. What are maps? Maps are nothing but representation of area on a surface, on a flat surface. As I told you, maps are representation of area on a flat surface. Look at this image. This is a world map. We all know that world is round. It is like a globe. But here the world map has been drawn on a flat surface, that is a piece of paper, isn't it? The main feature of map is scale. There are basically two types of maps. One is small scale maps, the other one is large scale maps. So what is this small scale and large scale maps? We will see it. See, in the world map, in a piece of paper, entire world has been represented. And here, this is India. This is small, appearing very small thing. Whereas in India map, what will happen, we will see. In India map, what is happening on this India map is built on a almost same size of the paper as much as the world map. But here in this entire full page, only India is appearing. So in the first map, what was happening? Entire world was being represented in a piece of paper. In the second one, only India has been represented in the same size of paper. So the distance between one point to another is more in the first map, whereas distance from one point to another is less in India map. As larger area is represented in this map, so the scaling is called small scale. Comparatively, in India map, smaller area is represented, hence it is called large scale. Large scale maps means the maps generally drawn on local areas, like the colony in which you are living. If you draw a map representing a colony in which you are living, then it will be called a large scale map. Whereas the small scale maps represent huge areas. Next key factor in a map is direction. In the maps you will generally find this type of a thing. Here the upper side of the map is always represented by north. You can see here. Right side in the map is called east. Left side of the map is called west, and down side of the map is called south side. Apart from these conventional four sides, in the maps you will find some new things, like there is a line bisecting between north and east. This is called northeast. Similarly, there is a line bisecting south and east. This is called southeast. Another line bisecting between south and west. This is called southwest. And you will find another line bisecting between north and west. This is called northwest. So in the maps, generally we are having 8 different directions. That is north, east, south, west and northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. Next important aspects in maps is grid. What are grids? Grids are nothing but division of maps into small squares is called grids. Generally, it is represented by drawing red color lines, red color squares. See, these are the red color squares where I am drawing. Now it is been split into various squares. Each square is called a grid, like this. Each square is called a grid. It is like graph paper. After grids, the next important thing is easting and northings. What is eastings and northings? It is nothing but the process of naming of grids which have been drawn on the map is called eastings and northings. This is an elaboration of naming of grids, that is eastings and northings. Easting means, first let us on any given map you will have to go to the southwest portion of the map, to the down southwest position of the map. From there you start going towards right, that is eastern direction, and name each and every cell one by one, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, you go upwards towards north and name each and every cell by number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Suppose you want to know the location of this point. Okay, what is this point? This point is 4 towards east, 4 towards east and 3 towards north. Just like a graph paper. Suppose you want to know what is the position of this point. This is 2 towards east and 4 towards north, that is 2, 4. Similarly, so this is the process of naming grids. The naming of grids is known as easting and northing. Maps look fabulous and fascinating because they are full of colors. Colors are one of the most important features in a map. Each and every color in a map represent a particular aspect of a map. What are the aspects represented by each and every color we will discuss. In a map, blue color is denoted for water. Similarly, lowlands and plains are represented by green color. Heights like mountains are represented by brown color, and yellow is represented for cultivated land. See, for example, in this world map, this entire portion is blue. That means it depicts for oceans. Blue is represented for water. Grid lines on the map are generally represented by red color. Red color is also used for depicting roads and buildings in a map. Black color is used for marking borders between states or countries, like that. Black is also used to denote railway track, and white color in a map is used to show snow-filled mountains. So till now we have discussed various aspects of map, like scaling of map, grids, easting, northing, and use of various colors. The last thing in a map is keys. The last thing of maps is keys. What is key? Key means the various things, the various aspects in the map which are being represented are written in a small box like this. This is called key. See, in this map there is a small box. Here it is written what are the things which are represented in this map. This thing is called key. So friends, today we have learned various aspects about maps. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. This video is prepared with the assistance of my son Ajay.